Hey everybody, welcome back to another Diecast review. Today we're taking a look at a new arrival batch of 164s, and we're just going to start one at a time. We'll start with our first, one and only Xfinity car of the week, or of the video, or of the day, or of the video again. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, here you can see it. This is Kyle Larson's 2022 HendrickCars.com Xfinity car. This is the one he won with at Watkins Glen. This is not the raced version, but this is the paint scheme he won with at Watkins Glen. So you can see we got Junior Motorsports. You can see Kyle Larson, number 88, HendrickCars.com. 2022 Camaro. Lionel, the official diecast of NASCAR, and then a big old barcode over here. All right, so we move that aside. Let's go ahead and put this up here as such. All right. There we go. All right, so here you can see the HendrickCars.com paint scheme. We got that nice 88 right in the middle of the door there. You can see we got HendrickCars.com on the hood. You guys know this scheme. It's a very common scheme that's been run for a few years. Honestly, it's probably time to retire it for a couple of years because it's been run so many times over the last, 5 years. But then again, it is Hendrick Cars, paint scheme. This is a scheme that's been around for decades with Hendrick Motorsports, so it is kind of cool that it's been able to get so many uses with so many drivers over the course of the last batch, couple years and stuff. You can see we do have a bright purple Xfinity banner on the front and Larson on the rear window. You can see it is the Xfinity body, which means you got that nice big boxy rear end, blue skirts on each side. 88 on the roof, obviously 88 on the door as well, and then HendrickCars.com. So overall, it's an Xfinity car, so has a little bit different shape to it, but it is nice to have another Xfinity car to add to our field, because we do have, I think we'll get hopefully one of the 17s, but we got plenty of Xfinity cars we need to add to, so we have a nice full field. The next one we're going to look at is Corey LaJoie's 2022 throwback. You can see we've got the white Goodyear Eagles on each side, number 777, Corey LaJoie. It's actually kind of cool they have the 777 on there. I think that's pretty neat. You can see Corey LaJoie. We got stacking pennies on the hood. LaJoie on the front and rear window. There you see the stacking pennies throwback, and that's our box. There, now I can show you the good stuff. Here we go, Corey LaJoie, stacking pennies there on the hood, 670 horsepower. I promise that's actually what they have now. But then you see the 777. We got Corey LaJoie. Go to the back, you can see we got Nation's Guard. If you can see it, there you can kind of see it. We also have on the deck lid, Fraternal Order of the Eagles, I believe is what it is. So yeah, Fraternal Order of the Eagles, I believe is what that's called. And then you can see here we got Schluter Systems, Corey LaJoie over here on the right side, the 777. Again, you can actually see Circle B Diecast down there on that as well. And then back to the front, we've got the pink. It's basically a Marty Robbins looking car. But I'm telling you, the 777 looks pretty good. I like the throwback. I thought it was a great throwback for Corey LaJoie. The 777, I think, if the number location was right, I think it looked weird, but because it's up front, it doesn't even matter. But yeah, I mean, overall, good throwback for Corey. I think it's probably my second favorite throwback of the ones that came in. The second one is going to be this one here. This is Kurt Busch's 2022 throwback. This is a throwback to 1995 Bill Elliott McDonald's car. You can see it's the number 45 McDonald's throwback. Lionel, the official diecast of NASCAR. Now this one comes on a base. You can see we have a clear base strapped to the bottom of it. For some reason, McDonald's apparently is like that. You can see on the hood here, we got the McDonald's arches and then the two white pieces, or white fenders on each side. That's the 1995 McDonald's colors. You can see number 45 McDonald's, and then we do have it all blacked out around the deck lid and the rear. That's where the Monster logos would normally be, but for some reason, they're not allowed to be on this car. Can't really explain that one. We got McDonald's on each side once again. We also have the white lettering on the Goodyear Eagles as well. But overall, this is one of my favorite throwbacks. I mean, I don't know. I think it just looks good. I still wish they had the numbers in the proper location, but I think because they could honor the scheme closer, I think it just looked really, really good. Now this one here, this is going to be Kevin Harvick's number 4 Mobil 1 Salutes car. This is the car that ran at the Coke 600, and you can see the American flag kind of in the background there. Here's the box quick, Kevin Harvick, Mobil 1 Salutes 2022 Mustang. Then we'll actually slide the car here. Now you can see it. But we do have the custom banner, number 4 with the red, white, and blue. And then we've got the Pegasus, and then Mobil 1 back here with the American flag, so the stars and the stripes. Number 4 up there, we got Mobil 1 on the deck lid. Also, we got Mobil 1 on the hood. And then over on the right side looks the same. We got that same kind of design going back. I really actually like this design. This is where I just wish they had been able to put the number at the right location. Not a terrible look, but, you know, swap that Pegasus and this number and whew, you got something cool. The next car we're going to take a look at is actually going to be one of the more colorful cars. This is Bubba Wallace's Columbia car. This one came in with the same batch, so you can see the number 23 Columbia 2022 Camry. And this car, you can see just a very interesting combination of colors, very 90s-esque, with a bright neon pink, neon yellow. We've got kind of is it turquoise is the right color? I don't know my colors. But you can see we've got Columbia Sportswear, number 23 with a bright pink outline. And then you got that bright neon color that kind of wraps the entire back. It's like a high-vis color. And then again, we got that like turquoise green color that's kind of mixed in. Now I will say I like the bright neon colors. This car is a very bright, noticeable car. But that being said, that green is the only thing that's like a little off-putting about this car, because I do like the high-vis green and the high-vis yellow, or the high-vis pink, but yeah, that other green's just kind of nyeh. But overall, very unique and very colorful car, so I think this was one of the neat arrivals that we got. So the next one is going to be Kyle Busch's Skittles Lime is back here. Oh, and there goes the tripod. So you can see we got Kyle Busch and the Skittles Lime car here. 2022 Camry, all that fun stuff. That's our box. Slide that off to the side. And then here you can see the lime is back. So we've got the Skittles Lime, all green Skittles kind of around the back and side of the car. On the hood, it's still normal. You can see we got Skittles, and then it says it's lime with the green one. But then we still have all the other colors. But once you get back here, it is all green Skittles all over the back. Got 7-Eleven on the rear deck lid, a bunch of Joe Gibbs sponsors on the deck lid. Sorry, on the rear bumper was 7-Eleven. Deck lid has a bunch of Joe Gibbs sponsors. And we got Kyle Busch on the front and the rear windows. So a good looking Skittles paint scheme. I like the way that they just have the lime added in there. I gotta remember if they have already done the Skittles paint scheme for this year, but I think the lime one, I don't know, it's weird. I think they could have had more lime green with that car, with the theme of it and all. So the next car we're going to take a look at, this is going to be Todd Gilliland's Boot Barn 1/64th scale Mustang. You can see we got Todd Gilliland there on the front, number 38 Boot Barn 2022 Mustang, and then Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR, on the box. Once you get down here to the car, you can see we have kind of a black and gray American flag behind the Boot Barn logo here. You can see we got Boot Barn down the side, and then it's just a mix of kind of this gray and black mixed with the red and white. So the gray and black I think is really cool with the way they have the flag on there. I think the red accents kind of add into this. I think this is actually one of the better paint schemes for Boot Barn. I think it looks pretty darn good. Like, this color combination is a very nice option. I like the amount of white we have, the amount of black, the gray added in there, and then the red. It's neither one of them really dominates, and yet you can still get a really good balance of colors around this paint scheme. So really like this paint scheme, even if I don't care that much about the sponsor. And I don't mean don't care like I have a problem with Boot Barn. I just mean like I literally don't know anything about Boot Barn, so I really don't care. It's not like a high, a high brand that I really hold in esteem or anything. It's a really good looking paint scheme though. So the next one we're going to take a look at is actually going to be the most controversial one of the year, probably. This is the number 24 Raptor 164 for William Byron. There you see the number 24 Raptor. And then we take a look at this car. You can see it's kind of like wrapped, so it's not really super glossy and shiny. It's kind of a base level, and it is basically just a straight wrap. So you can see what Raptor is basically like a coating you put on your car. It looks almost like a bed liner. So it's very flat, it's very rough. It's supposed to be very protective, and that's basically what this car is supposed to look like, but with the wrap, it almost ended up looking a little bit too shiny for my liking. So yeah, they did have one of these cars get wrecked, and they had to leave the top of this thing white, and it actually looked really good compared to this one, because there's nothing wrong with the gray and then the bright neon 24 and all the Raptor logos being bright neon, but when they were able to add that white across the top, I think it just really helped lighten up the car a little bit. So I'm not a huge fan of this car. He did win with it at Martinsville, but I do think the Raptor texture is a little boring, especially on a race car at least, because it's just a wrap. If you actually had a Raptor coated car, that might be different. All right, so our next car is going to be the number 99 Tootsie's car. We also had looked at this one last year, so we've seen this one, and now we get a new version of it. You'll notice the 99 is not near as far forward, almost making this car a lot more exciting, I guess. But you can see the number 99 Tootsie's Orchid Lounge 2022 Camaro. And then when I get the car pulled in here, you can see that 99 is like just below the A-post. Obviously, it's still slid forward, but this is a much more like bearable version when the number's not mashed all the way against the front, and you can slide it back as far as possible. Like, obviously, if they could slide it even just a tad more, but Trackhouse did a very good job of keeping the numbers in a location that doesn't look near as bad. Like, it's definitely got, it's definitely pushed forward, but there's definitely room where it doesn't feel quite as mashed up against the very front of the car, which is something I'm not a huge fan of. But obviously, we saw what this car looked like last year. In the next gen, I don't think it looks better than the previous because, like I said, number location is a big deal. But it is definitely better than some of the other cars we've seen move from last year to this year. And so our last non-raced version, this is going to be Chase Briscoe's Ford Performance Racing School Ford Mustang. You can see we got Chase Briscoe there, Ford Performance Racing School, and Lionel, the official Diecast NASCAR on the box. Then once you get down to the car here, you can see we got our number 14, nice, really big door number there. Mahindra Tractor, GT500, High Point, Ford Performance Racing School. We got Rush Truck Centers. You can see we got Briscoe on the front and rear window. And then it's the same look as the one from last year where you do get the two racing stripes. Ford Performance Racing School. And then there's our number 14 on this side. So I really do like this paint scheme. I do, once again, wish the numbers were correct and moved into the door. It's got a nice big door number, so that's part of it, but you can just tell that the number, it looks unbalanced. The numbers being too far forward makes the car just look not balanced, in my opinion. And I don't know. I haven't got over it yet. No matter how much I try. I'm not trying either. But anyway, yeah, so a nice big door number. I will say that's the biggest shout out of this car. Really big, tall door number, which I do like. I'm a big fan when the number is nice and tall like that. All right, so our last three are going to be raced version diecasts. This is going to be the first one we're going to take a look at, which is William Byron's 2022 Atlanta win. You see we got the Liberty paint scheme on here. You can see a decent amount of confetti on the hood and on the roof. Obviously, there's none on the window because they don't do that for the 164s. But you can see we do have a decent amount of confetti there on the hood, nose, and splitter. You can see a bunch of that confetti kind of piled up there. Right side, it gets a little thinner, so you can see this mark for the jack. Our number 24, a little bit of confetti, but otherwise pretty darn clean. Rims are just plain black, so none of the gray rims on this one. This one's got the black rims. And like I said, decent amount of confetti with this one. So this is probably the better looking of the two for William Byron's wins last year, I would say, on this one here. The next one we're going to take a look at is going to be Ross Chastain's first win. This is the ONX iFly car. This one is absolutely gorgeous. You can see the foil color number. You can see we've got the gray and black shards and then the matte black color going around it. This is one of the best paint schemes of the year. We do still have the green and white confetti kind of all around the top and on the hood here, but this car, I mean, confetti or no confetti, this is one of my favorite paint schemes of the year, and it's just got a great combination with the gray and black shards and then the matte black and red combo after that. So very, very good car. This is probably the best race win of the year in my opinion so far, not in terms of race detail, but in terms of the paint scheme of it. And our last car we're going to look at, this is Ross Chastain's 2022 Talladega win. You can see just a tiny bit of confetti with the blue and white on the roof there. There is none on the windows because it is a 164, so just a little bit of confetti on the roof, and that's literally about it. You can see we got Bia Moose, a little bit of buildup or kind of some rubber marks from the burnout there. We got our number 1 there, and you can see the number 1 is kind of a little bit backed off the fender, so it doesn't look too bad. We got biamoose.org, got Chastain on the front and rear windows. Pretty clean other than that. It is a Talladega win, so they don't usually get super beat up unless it's a crash car that somehow found its way back to the front. But yeah, outside of the confetti, not a ton of other race detail on there, and the number 1 is moved back ever so slightly from the wheel well, which just makes it that much better. Still pushed forward quite a bit because that's what it's supposed to be, but I'm just a fan of the one car here. I think the 2 1 cars both look really good, but I gotta say the ONX one just looks better in my personal opinion. But anyway, guys, that'll wrap up all of the 164s that have come in the last couple of days. You can see we've got a bunch of them that recently came in, so if you're interested in any of these 164s, you can check them out at rasdiecast.com. There should be plenty of them, at least on the ones that you see here, available on the site for this weekend and all that. So if you're interested, go ahead and pick them up over there. Other than that, guys, this has been Race Craze. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next Diecast review.